Hi, very good evening. We'll just wait for confirmation whether you all can hear me. Hello, good evening, everybody. So we'll just wait for it to start. Hi. So I think, yeah. So I think now everybody should be able to hear me. Cool. Let's start. So we'll be starting with the session now. We're doing a session on ratio and proportion. So very, very important area from arithmetic. Normally I tell people that once you prepared for percentages and ratios really well, then after that, everything is only a particular concept from a particular chapter. Hi, everyone. Hi, Mridul. Hi, Anurag. Uh, Rohan, everybody. Okay, so percentages and ratio are like your backbone of the remaining chapters of arithmetic. Because once you understand these two chapters, then you can start doing profit and loss, simple interest, compound interest, and use it really efficiently. Normally people somehow don't use ratios really well. If you know your like fractions well, the percentage to fractions ka list, like what is 1 by 9, 1 by 9 is 11.11, what is 1 by 11, and so on. Once you know all that list really well and use it well, no, ratio becomes a very, very, very important chapter. Okay, cool, everybody. Can we start? Anybody has any queries before we start? Anybody has any queries before we start? Then I'll just take a couple of queries. Uh, as we all know that a new batch is starting, and the new batch will happen on the iQuanta app, which has all the facilities, all your videos and everything can be viewed on the app. So you can start downloading the app even if you're not a student right now. You can download the app, a lot of free stuff available there. Okay. And you have your CAT 26 new batch coming up. Okay, then we will start with ratios, ratio and proportion. Now, giving you some basics, let's understand some basic. When I say, suppose in a mixture, I have a mixture where there is milk and water. Okay, suppose if I say milk and water, as in the ratio 2 is to 3. So ratio is 2 is to 3. That means 2 parts is milk, 3 parts is water. When I say there's a mixture, suppose, in which ratio of milk and water is 2 is to 3. So if there are 2 parts of milk, there are 3 parts of water. What does this actually mean? Does it mean that milk is 2 liters and water is 3 liters? No, it does not actually mean that, but it can mean that. Now, very importantly, understand the difference between it actually means and it can mean. It means if and then. A ratio always, if you relate it with English, no, I relate it with if and then. So if milk is 2 liters, then water is 3 liters, and so on. If milk is 200 liters, water would be 300 liters. So that becomes a ratio, right? But if I want to know if I have the whole quantity, what is, say, the percentage of milk over here? The percentage of milk or the fraction of milk. Milk is 2/5 of the total. The fraction of the milk will be 2/5 of the total, or percent, or the fraction of the water will be 3/5 of the total, which will mean if I convert to percentage, 2 by 5 into 100, this becomes 40%. And this becomes automatically 60%. So understand the difference between a ratio and a fraction. When I write 2 ratio 3, I mean 2 parts of milk, 3 parts of water. When I write 2/5 of the total is milk, it means the same thing, right? So now, how do I go about this further? Let's understand some examples. Suppose if it was told to us in a question, I'm going to erase this part. Suppose it was told to us in a question, there is, say, In a class, there are 70 students. In a class, there are 70 students, and the ratio between the boys and the girls, the ratio of boys and girls is 3 is to 4. Very basic understanding of the basics of ratios. 3 is to 4. Okay, what is the number of boys? What is the number of girls? Obviously, these numbers are very simple. So there are at least 10 different approaches by which you can do it. The school day approach is what? Let the number of boys be 3x because ratio is 3 is to 4. Let the number of girls be 4x. And then we say 3x plus 4x is 70. So 7x is 70 and x is 10. Okay, once I got x as 10, boys become 3 tens are 30. Girls become 4 tens are 40. Okay. Other ways to do this could be what? Boys are 3 by 7 because 3 plus 4 is 7. So I can say boys are 3/7 of the total. Total was 70. So 7 ones are 7 tens are. So boys are 30 and automatically girls become 40. Some numbers ke liye you can only do it by observing, like 3 ratio 4. 3 plus 4 is 7 and total, so 3 plus 4 total is 7, but the real total was 70. This is how many times? This is 10 times. So make these both numbers also 10 times, so they become 30 and 40. So there are three approaches I just discussed over here. One, simply by observing, which might not work every single time. Means logically it will work, but the observation skills will be important. The other is this fraction part, and one is the school day method, which is also very useful. Remember, when I say this is a school day method, I am not at all demeaning it. I'm not saying that, oh, you should not use the school day method or something. You should know this method also, right? So this is how you start the chapter of ratios. Okay. Just give me a second, okay? Some pen marks have remained on this after checking the sheet, so I'll just have to remove them. You'll have to just give me a second. Okay, fair enough. Let's start. Let's go ahead. How do you look at such questions? If A ratio B is 3 is to 5, find the ratio of 4A plus 3B upon 3A plus 2B. Foolproof method we'll understand. When I say A ratio B is 3 by 5, the best way to do this would be whatever they've asked you to find. You say let A is equal to 3K and B is equal to 5K or 3x, 5x, same thing. Then in the first question, what will happen? They've asked us to find 4A plus 2B upon 3A plus 2B. So 4A plus 3B, sorry. 4A plus 3B upon 3A plus 2B. So what will be 4A? A is 3K. So 4A becomes 12K. 3B, 3 5s are 15. 15K upon 3A. 3A will be 9K plus 2B. 2B will be 10K. So we are left with around 27K upon 19K, right? Just check it once more. 4 3s are 12, 3 5s are 15, 12 plus 15 is 27, 3 3s are 9 and 2 5s are 10. So 19. KK will cut and we have the answer as 27 is to 19. Now, lot of times, students say, sir, but why can I not take A as 3 and B as 5? Yes, you can take Let's try it. In this question, you can definitely just take A as 3 and B as 5. Nothing, no K, nothing. Because final answer is asked in the form of a ratio, I can do that. So 4 threes are 12. 3 fives are 15. 3 threes are 9 and 2 fives are 10. And I get 27 upon 19. So basically we've got 27 upon 19 over here also. Now, if you look at this question, why don't you all try the next one the same way? Find the value of this part, 3x square plus 4y square upon 2x plus 3y. Can we find it? Think a little bit. Kanak, is that the answer for the second question or the first question? Okay, so I'm getting different answers from different people. Kanak has given 22 upon 13. Sanvi is given as 48 upon 13. Anurag is saying that will depend on the value of K, I guess. Okay. Okay. The answer for this part will be cannot be determined. Let's understand why. Lot of people wrote 48 upon 13. Now, what you all didn't pay attention to, pay attention. Just let's do what I told you in the previous question. Put x as 2, y as 3. If you put x as 2, you get 4 threes are 12, y as 3. So 9 fours are 36 and 2 twos are 4 and 3 threes are 9. So you all got 48 upon 13. Lot of you all got this. Let's just try it a little bit different. When I say x upon y is 2 upon 3, can I also write it as 4 upon 6? Is that the same thing? And if the question is consistent, then with this also I should get the same answer. With 4 upon 6 also I should have got the same answer. Right? Let's check with 4 upon 6. If x was 4, 16 threes are 48 plus 36 fours are. 36 fours I think will be 144 upon 2 fours are 8 and 3 6 are 18. So we are going to get some number which doesn't look like denominator I'm getting 26. But the numerator I'm getting some other answer only. 48 plus 144 is 192. And if I reduce it, I don't get this answer. In fact, I get 96 upon 13. Now, the important part is why is this incorrect? Students should understand why is something incorrect. You know, one thing is just saying how it is incorrect. That's okay. But why? Why is it? Why did I make a mistake or what went wrong is the very important part. So let's understand what went wrong over here. Here also the question was a ratio, but in the numerator, there were squares of x and y, while the denominator had only x and y. And that is why the direct method doesn't work. Just can't put x as 2 and y as 3. Yes, if the question asked was this, find 3x square plus 4y square upon say 2x square minus y square. If they had asked only this much, then it will still work. Because numerator also square, denominator also square. It will still work. But here it will not work. And you should understand very importantly, the answer for this will be cannot be determined. And that is why sometimes the K wala method becomes very important. Knowing the K method, because if you did the K method, one K will cut and the numerator will be left with a K. Because if you did the K method, X is 2K. So if X is 2K, you would have got, what will you get in the numerator? 4K square into 3. So you'll get 12K square. Y is 3K. So 9K square into 4, 36K square. Upon denominator will be only K. So it will be 4K plus 3 3s are 9K. And you would get 48K square upon 13K. 1K will cut. So answer comes out 48k upon 13, and k can be any number. Like k can be 1, k can be 2, k can be 3, k can be anything. Based on that, the answer will keep changing. Everybody clear with this? So this is very important. So don't make this mistake. This can be a very common mistake students make. Let's take a very basic example to understand ratios. Okay, I'll repeat the k thing again, Prachi. So Prachi, what happened in the numerator? When I solved with the k method, I took a as 2k and I took b as 3k. And I put it over here and I solved. If you look at the numerator now as a k square, denominator is only k. So in the numerator, I'm getting 48k square, while the denominator is giving me only 13k. While in the previous question, both the numerator and denominator gave me 1k. So k cuts out. While here, 1k cuts out, but still numerator is left with a k. And the final answer is 48 upon 13. And k is left off. And that is why, and k can be any number. K doesn't have to be 1. K can be 1, k can be 2, k can be 100. And therefore answer will keep changing. Clear, Prachi? Yes, that was the rule. The method was that only. When we take ratio, I explained that in the starting to you, that when I say A ratio B is 2 upon 3, what is the meaning of this? A can be 2, B can be 3, can be. It is not definitely. But A can be 200, B can be 300 also. A can be 100, B can be 150. Any numbers can happen for A and B. And based on what they've asked us in this question, if I take different numbers, I'm getting different answers. And therefore, the answer is cannot be determined. Cool? Yash, are you clear? So let's go to this question. Read the question, everybody. Take a minute to just read the question to understand it. Let's read. In a bag, there are certain number of toys, blocks with alphabet A, B, C, D written on them. So there are a lot of toy blocks where A is written on some, B is written on some, and so on. And the ratio of the block with A, B, C, D written on them is the ratio 5, 7, 2, 1. If the number of A blocks is 60 more than the number of C blocks, what is the B blocks? So A ratio B, ratio C, ratio D is 5 ratio 7 ratio 2 ratio 1. Now, they have told us difference between A and C is 60. If I go by the regular method, I would have taken A as 5x and C as 2x. That all you should do in your mind. You don't need to write everything. Suppose A is 5x, B is 2x. So 5x minus 2x is 60. 3x is 60. X is 20. X is 20. Once I got X is 20, what have they asked for? Number of B blocks. What will be number of B blocks? B is 7x. So B would be 7 into 20, which is 140. They just check your method, what mistake you made. Why, how have we got 56? They just please check and tell me. What about total number of toys? What is total number of toys? Give me total. Yes, Rishi. Total number of toys. Total will be 5x plus 7x plus 2x plus 1x. That is 12 plus 2, 14, 14 plus 1, 15x. 15x is the total. 5, 7, 12, 12 plus 2, 14 plus 1, 15. Total is 15x. So 15 into 20 would be 300. Yes, the final answer was cannot be determined because we got the answer in terms of k in the previous question, Rishi. In the previous question, you are left off with a k, and that is why the answer for this question is cannot be determined. Answer will be determined only if the k is cut out. So Sneha, since you are asking me from the second batch, what will happen is that for every chapter you will have assignments. Every chapter you have a level 1 assignment, level 2 assignment, which is 40 questions. Level 1 is the basic stuff, level 2 is a slightly advanced one. You also have your application classes, which will have around 20 questions. So I keep telling people that, if you look at the way the iQuanta model is, you have 20 questions in live class, 20 questions in application class, then you have 20 in level 1 assignment, 20 in level 2 assignment, and if you have the book, you have another 50 in the book. So you have enough questions. Okay. Chalo, let's go to the next one. Achha, by the way, before we just go ahead with the next question, what would have been a bad method for this question? Let's understand. Sometimes, we have to understand the bad methods to see that we should not do them. So for example, over here, total was 15. Total were 15 parts, right? So I can say A is 5 by 15 of the total. Let's call the total as T. And C is 2 parts. So C is 2 by 15 of the total. And this difference is 60. So 5 by 15 of the total minus 2 by 15 of the total is 60. 15 is the LCM. 5t minus 2t is 3t is 60. 3 ones are 3 5s are. Take 5 on top. 60 multiplied by 5, t is 300. By this method, we calculated t unnecessary, which was not asked in the question. And now I will have to again calculate b. B is how many parts? 7 parts. So b is 7 by 15 of 300. 15 20s are and 140. Okay, never settle for a bad method. Even if the bad method has got you the right answer 1 time, 2 times, 3 times, learn to improve your approaches. See what is the fastest approach for you. And therefore, this is 140. You still get it. A minus C is given, no? If the number of A blocks is 60 more than the number of C blocks, it is told in the question. Priya, read the question. They have told us A minus C is 60. And that is why I had started with A minus C as 60. And you could see A is more than C. Next question. No, the assuming total blocks will not do good over here because there's a real number in the sum. Never assume numbers when there is a real number in the sum. Read the question. I'm giving you a couple of minutes to read the question. Try it on your own. A lot of parts of this arithmetic are mathematics. I tell this to so many people. When you're doing arithmetic and this maths which you're doing with the arithmetic part is a lot about how to convert English to maths. You have to know how to convert English to maths. Once you understand that language, that English is a language, maths is also a language. Once you can convert that, no, things become very nice. See, like I'll use that in this sum and I'll explain it. In an examination, just let's read from here carefully. Rama's score was 1/12 of the sum of the scores of Mohan and Anjali. Let's read only this much and convert this to maths. Let's call Rama's score as R. Is or was is equal to sign 1/12, 1 by 12. The sum of the scores of Mohan and Anjali. Bracket Mohan plus Anjali. Don't think too much. Don't try to solve this or anything. Maximum you want, you can take the 12 on top. If you take the 12 on the other side, so you'll get 12R is equal to M plus A. Leave it over here. If you notice, what we have done is we have just converted statement 1 from English to maths. Now, after the review, the score of each of them increased by 6. Okay. And now the revised score of Anjali, Mohan and Rama were in the ratio 11, 10, 3. Now pay attention very carefully. Let's look. I have forgotten the first part. I'm not even using the first part. It is there for me. I will use it in the second half of the sum. What are the revised scores? A ratio is given. So can I say revised score for Anjali, Mohan and Rama can be equal to 11x, 10x and 3x. Whenever ratio is there, I can write it as 11x, 10x and 3x. Everybody clear till here? I didn't touch the first part. Don't mix the first part. Now, these are the revised scores. These revised scores came when everybody's score was increased by 6 marks. Suppose one question was wrong and hence 6 marks were given free to everybody. So it became 11x, 10x and 3x. So according to this, again not seeing the first part of the question, what were the original scores? Anjali ka original score was what? Anjali now is 11x. So before she got 6 marks, she was 11x minus 6. Mohan was how much? 10x minus 6. And Rama was how much? 3x minus 6. Everybody clear? If you want, you can put this as A dash, M dash, R dash. These are the revised scores and A, M and R are the original scores. Now, what I have got over here, these are the original scores. Just put them in this equation which we had made. We had made an equation. When you put an equal to sign, you have made one equation. So just put it very carefully. So 12 into Rama. So 12 into 3x minus 6 is equal to M plus A. M is 10x minus 6 and A is 11x minus 6. Now just you need to solve it carefully. This is my way of doing it. This is how I would do it. So this will become 36x minus 72 is equal to 21x minus 12. 36x minus 21x is equal to minus 12 plus 72. 15x is equal to 60. X is 60 divided by 15, therefore x is 4. What have they asked for? Anjali's score exceeded Rama's score by how much? That means they want difference between Anjali and Rama. Anjali minus Rama, A minus R. Calculate दोनों का score. Answer will come out to be 32. Difference between Anjali and Rama. Anjali minus Rama. 11x minus 6 minus 3x minus 6. 11x minus 6 minus 3x minus 6, which will be minus 6 plus 6 will cut. If you open the bracket, you will be left with 8x. 8 into 4, 32. Clear, everybody? Are people understanding this? Any doubts? Very important to know which part of the question to take up and which part of the question to hold on for some time. Okay, last step once again somebody wants. So last step mein they have asked me the difference between Anjali and Rama. Anjali was 11x minus 6, Rama was 3x minus 6. Instead of finding both of them separately, I did this equation 11x minus 6 minus 3x minus 6. If I open this bracket, It will be 11x minus 6 minus 3x plus 6. Minus 6 plus 6 will cut. 8x is left off. Then I put the value of x as 4. 8 into 4, 32. Yes, you can directly put the value of x. That's okay. Next one. How many 1 rupee coin, 50 paisa coins and 25 paisa coins are there? If they are in the ratio 3:7:10 and together amount to 63 rupees. Come on, I'm giving you all some time to try it. I want coins of each type. तीनों type के coins बताना answer में. So answer में I want to know how many 1 rupee coin, how many 1 rupee coin, how many 50 paise coins and how many 25 paise coins. Now here in such questions you have two choices. Either solve the whole question in rupees or solve the whole question in paise. Okay. If you're going to solve the whole question in paise, the only numbers will be slightly bigger. Nothing wrong. In fact, you will avoid fractions. Okay. 1 rupee will become 100 paise and 63 rupees will become 6300 paise. If you're solving in paise, I'll show in rupees also, don't worry. So suppose if I take the coins as 3x, 7x and 10x. Let the number of coins be 3x, 7x and 10x. 100 paise ke 3x coins. So 100 multiplied by 3x. 50 paise ke how many coins? 7x coins. And 25 paise ke how many coins? 25 paise ke how many coins? 10x coins is equal to 63 into 100. And you will see I don't write anything just like that. You will also understand why I wrote 63 into 100 and not 6300. Just pay attention to my calculation methods. Now what can I see on the left hand side? There is 100, there is 50 and there is 25. Everything is divisible by 25. So divide both sides completely by 25. Now I'm writing, but later you should be able to do it only. Divide by 25. 100 divided by 25 is 4. So here I'll be left with 4 into 3x. 50 divided by 25 is 2. 2 into 7x. 25 divided by 25 is 1. 1 into 10x. And here also 100 divided by 25 4. So here I'm left with 63 fours are. And now my calculations also became small. So 12x plus 14x plus 10x is 252. This is 26 plus 10, 36x. This will become 36x. So x is 252 divided by 36. That will be 6 6 are 6 4s are 24, 1, 6 2s are 6 1s are 6 7s are. So x is 7. Once I got x as 7, what will I get? 3 7s are 21, 7 7s are 49 and 10 7s are 70. Right? Everybody got this? Now what if I had done the whole question in rupees? You should know that method also. If I had done the whole question in rupees, what will we get? Just look at the magic. I'll come back to the same equation. ₹1 coin. So 1 rupee multiplied by 3x. 50 paisa means half a rupee. 50 paisa means half a rupee. So half into 7x and 10 paisa means, sorry, 25 paisa means 1/4 of a rupee. So 1/4 into 10x. This is equal to 63 rupees. Here I can cut 2 twos are 2 5s are. Okay. Multiply everything by 2 because 2 is the LCM. Multiply like earlier we divided by 25. No. Now we are multiplying by 2. 2 threes are 6x. Half into 2. So 2 will cut. So we will be left with 7x. Half into 2. 2 will cut. So we'll be left with 5x. And if I multiply by 2, I have to multiply by 2 here also. 63 multiplied by 2, 126. If you see, this is actually the same equation. 12 plus 5, 18x is 126. And you will get x is 7. Are you all understanding this? Did you all understand how I did with rupees? So it became very easy to understand. Calculations become much shorter. Chalo, let's understand something now like a concept. If I say a upon 9 is equal to b upon 7 is equal to c upon 4, find a ratio, b ratio, c. I want the ratio between a, b, c. Okay. Now, especially if there are only two things first. In fact, let's do first only for two things. Yeah. First, let's do for only two things. Suppose if a upon 9 is equal to b upon 7. How do you write it? What is a ratio b? Very simple. You can bring b instead of 9 and 9 instead of b. Basically cross multiplication. So we can just change b and 9 ka position. So I'll get a upon b is 9 upon 7. So when I have only two things, it is very simple to check. Even if you have it like that, say 6a is equal to 13b. How do you find a upon b? So you have kept a in the position of a only. And you have brought b down. So on the right hand side, 13 will remain there only. From left hand side, 6 will come down. So a upon b will be 13 upon 6. Sanchita, we divided by 25 to make the question shorter. If you don't divide, ऐसा नहीं कि सब नहीं होगा. Just to make my calculation easier, I divided by 25. Everybody clear with this? Everybody clear with this when there are two things, how to get a ratio? Let's take one more example. Say 5 times a is equal to 7 times b. If I say 5 times a is equal to 7 times b, if it is given like a word problem, so then you will write 5a is equal to 7b, which will mean a upon b is 7 upon 5. Understand this. 7 remains in its position, 5 comes down. Now let's do for 3. What will happen over here? A upon 9 is equal to b upon 7 is equal to c upon 4. Find a ratio, b ratio, c. Then the method to do this is what? Pay attention. When there are 3, the method changes a little bit. So what I can do in this is a very simple approach. A upon 9 is b upon 7 is c upon 4. Take this equal to something, maybe like a k. Take them all equal to k. They are all equal to each other. So take equal to k. Then what will I get over here? A is equal to, just like look at one at a time. A upon 9 is k. Therefore, A is 9k. B upon 7 is equal to k. Therefore, B is equal to 7k. C upon 4 is equal to K. So C is equal to 4K. So I got A ratio B ratio C. I've got 9K, 7K and 4K. Where the K can cut. Whenever you're doing ratios, whatever is common can cut. Whatever is common can cut. So 9 ratio, 7 ratio, 4 is what you're left with. This one was okay. This will work every time. The next one is very important because you know what happens? By the way, this is not equal to sign. No? This is a ratio sign. That's a typo error. It's 1 upon 9 ratio 1 upon 7 ratio 1 upon 4. So they've already given the ratio. A ratio B ratio C is already a ratio. And they've asked only ratio. So A ratio B ratio C is 1 upon 9 ratio 1 upon 7 ratio 1 upon 4. Then find A ratio B ratio C in whole number. Find A ratio B ratio C in whole numbers. So now over here you require a little bit knowledge from LCM. You need the LCM of 974. What is the LCM of 9 into what is the LCM of 9, 7 and 4? Anybody LCM of 9, 7, 4? LCM of 9, 7, 4 is 9 into 7 into 4 because there's nothing common. There is nothing common. So LCM is 9 into 7 into 4. So LCM is, don't even find it. Just write it like that. LCM is 9 into 7 into 4. Multiply each of them by 9 into 7 into 4. Don't find the 252. Waste of time. So if I multiply this with this, 9 9 will cut. Only 7 4s are 28 is left. When I multiply this with 9 7 4, 7 7 cut will cut. Only 9 4s are 36 will be left. And when I multiply 1 upon 4 with it, 4 4 will cut. Only 63 will be left. Answer will be 28 ratio 36 ratio 63. Everybody clear? So no need to multiply by 252. Obviously it is correct, but you don't need to do the calculations because the lesser the calculations you do, lesser the chances of mistake and faster is your speed. So everybody clear if there's a fractional ratio, how to make it into a whole number ratio? Because this helps you a lot. Because if I give you a question like this, like, okay, just making up a sum. Okay, making up a question. 12,700 rupees to be divided between ABC. Divided between ABC in the ratio 1 by 9 is to 1 by 7 is to 1 by 4. Then to do this question just like this is difficult. It is not impossible. You can still, somebody wants to become a dheet, can say, okay, let A be 1 by 9x or let A be 1 upon 9 into x and so on and add and make an equation. But I would not do that. I would take that LCM, convert it into 28, 36 and 63. And then I'll do the normal method. 28x plus 36x plus 63x is 12700. So what will we get? This you add up is 127x. Will be 12700. X will be 100. And therefore each one will get how much? A will get 2800, B will get 3800 and C will get 6300. Everybody clear? Did you understand the advantage of this या usage of this at least? कि अगर ऐसा question है तो तुमको पहले ये करके sum करना is very easy. One more type. This is actually like this one. Here also equal to sign was there, ratio is asked. Here also equal to sign is there, ratio is asked. So should I use the same method what I did behind? When I did over here, यहाँ पे what did I do? I took equal to k. A upon 9 is B upon 7 is equal to C upon 4. I took k and I solved. Right? I got it very easily. Should I do the same thing over here? No. So think a little bit. What should you do? You can take k but not k. Something else you should take. So don't let me take x. Huh? K नहीं तो x number alphabet change करने का नहीं बोला है. What will we do over here? We will first take LCM. 7, 5, 4 का LCM is 7 into 5 into 4. So I'll take let's 7a equal to 5b is equal to 4c equal to 7 into 5 into 4. K का भी जरूरत नहीं है. No need for the k. K ऐसे भी कट होने वाला था. So 7a is equal to this. So what is a equal to? A is 20. 5b is equal to this. So b is 28. And 4c is equal to this. So c is 35. So ratio is 20 into 28 into 35. What problem sum can you make from this? Mr. A divided his whatever his money, whatever money he had in the ratio, divided his money between his three sons A, B, C or X, Y, Z such that 7 times share of X is same as 5 times share of Y is same time 4 times share of Z, and you will get exactly something like this. So if we take LCM, we are avoiding any fractions. If we don't take LCM, we will get fractions. See, logically, let's look at one more approach for this question. Okay, ये पूरा सम को और एक approach देखते हैं. Suppose किसी को LCM नहीं समझा, strike नहीं हुआ, and they decided to take everything as say 1. So what does A become? A becomes 1 by 7, B becomes 1 by 5, and C becomes 1 by 4. But मुझे ऐसा आंसर तो पसंद ही नहीं है ना. पीछे अब भी हमने किया. How to solve this type of question? Multiply by the LCM. Now multiply by the LCM. So you'll get 20, 28 and 35. Are we okay? So this is the second method to do it. If I write 1, I got 1 by 7, 1 by 5, 1 by 4. And then I multiplied by the LCM again. So LCM of 7 into 5 into 4, you can write it as 7 into 5 into 4 or 140. So you write it that way and solve it. So basically, either you write the LCM first or you write it later. You will need the LCM in such questions. Okay? Okay. Come on, try this quickly. Try this first. A ratio B is 3 ratio 4. B ratio C is 5 ratio 3. Find A ratio B ratio C. Now, first let's understand the normal approach. दोनों जगह पे B है. A ratio B is 3:4 and B ratio C is 5:3. दोनों में B है. So we may need to make B same. We need to make B same. What is the LCM of 5 and 4? What is the LCM of 5 and 4? 20. So basically we need to make B 20. To make B 20, what have you multiplied here by? To make B 20 here, you have multiplied by 5. So A will also get multiplied by 5. 3 5s are 15. And to make B 20, what have you multiplied here by? You multiplied by 4. So it will become 3 4s are 12. Very important. Like this is very, very, very important. Because B is the common person between them. So we need to make B same. Now, if I look at one more approach to do this, okay, this is something, I remember so well. Actually, you won't believe it. This was taught to me in school this way. And from that time, I remember this method. A ratio B is 3 ratio 4 and B ratio C is 5 ratio 3. So write it on the next line. And this is the way my school teacher had explained to me. Multiply this with this, this with this, and this with this. That's it. Over. Multiply 3 5s are 15, 4 5s are 20, 4 3s are 12. बस हो गया. कुछ सोचना नहीं, कुछ नहीं. You can always learn this method. This into this, this into this. Yeah, why not? Sometimes if the school method is good, why not use it? What happens in this case? There are three things given. You can't do all three together. Don't even look at the third one, Pele. Let's look only at A, B, C. A ratio B is 1 is to 2. B ratio C is 3 is to 4. Yes, shortcut works every time. What will I get? 1 3s are 3, 2 3s are 6, 2 4s are 8. 3, 6, 8. ABC done. Now, when there are 4 times, the shortcut is for 3 times. Now what happens over here? This is A, B, C. And C ratio D was 5 ratio 3. So basically now you can still do the same thing. Basically multiply this over here, this also over here, this over here and this over here. The shortcut kind of still works. So it will become 15, 30, 40 and 24. A, B, C, D. So by adding D, the shortcut still works. I wrote 5 ratio 3. 3 5s are 15, 6 5s are 30, 8 5s are 40, 8 3s are 24. Everybody clear with the shortcut method? Yeah, finally, you have to make the numbers same. Here I had to make B same. Here I had to make C same. Come on, try this question. या ये अमाउंट तो बाद में देखेंगे. लेट्स राइट व्हाट दे हैव सेड. 4/5 of A's share is 3/2 of B and 1/4 of B is 1/7 of C. How will we do this? Do this like first two separate questions. If I cross multiply, what will I get? 8A is 15B. So A upon B is 15 upon 8. A upon B is 15 upon 8. Over here, I'll cross multiply, I'll get 7B is equal to 4C. So B upon C is 4 upon 7. So basically B is 4. Now, even if you do the method which I told you shortcut, it will be slightly long. LCM would have come faster 8, but it will still work. 60, 32 and 56. 15 fours are 60, 8 fours are 32, 8 fives are 8 sides are 56. If you want, you can reduce it. 4 15s are, 4 8s are, 4 14s are. So ratio becomes 15, 8 and 14. You want to find only B. B is 8 out of how much? 8 out of 37. Multiply by 666. Now, this is a very peculiar thing I'm going to tell you. Everybody just listen to me carefully. That, actually speaking, 37 threes are is 111. I use it, means, I've been teaching for CAT for so many years. I must have used this a zillion number of times during my calculation. 37 threes are 111. Now, if I know this calculation orally, 666 can be written as 6 into 111. And if I know this 37 threes are 111, saves so much time. 8 6 are 48, 48 threes are 144. Please remember this calculation in your mind like by heart. 37 threes are 111. Tejas, what happened? Where did you get 270 from? जरा देखो 270 कहां से आया? I think you calculated A, Tejas. A was not asked, B was asked. You've calculated A. How B ratio C will be 7:4? Look at this properly. 7B is 4C. तो यहां पे B रहेगा अपने आप. C we are bringing down from this side. So 4 will remain and 7 will come down. The best way to check is again cross multiply and check, are you getting this? 7B is equal to 4C. Because if you write 4:7, when you cross multiply, you don't get this. Sorry, if you write 7:4, you don't get this. What am I saying? Yeah, 4B is equal to 7C. This you don't get. So this is wrong. 4:7, not 7:4. Jon Snow, clear? Chalo. Everybody clear with this question? So somebody is asking me, would you recommend iQuanta books? I'll tell you something. Like I just finished making video solutions for 11 chapters of arithmetic. Every chapter has like 50 questions in the arithmetic book, the book iQuanta book, which is 550 questions of arithmetic plus 150 extra practice questions of arithmetic. So just like 3-4 days back, I finished making videos for them. 700 questions only of arithmetic in that book with video solutions. I think it's a great buy. Means this is only now in fact, from tomorrow, I'll be starting making video solutions for geometry. And that way you have so many more questions for every chapter to practice. Okay, cool. Whose question was that? That was Upanshu Das ka question. Chalo, try this question. Tejas, I don't have the exact answer for that. Somebody will post a solution for that. Don't worry. क्यों बी का शेयर में क्या प्रॉब्लम हो गया? अरे इतना तो ये तो रेगुलर जो स्टार्टिंग में सिखाया वही है ना. बी इज 8 पार्ट्स. 8 आउट ऑफ हाउ मेनी? 15 plus 8 plus 14. So B का share 8 upon 15 plus 8 plus 14 of 666 and solve this. Kushi, I think you're lagging behind. You need to just refresh your feed once. So the question may ratios are given as a fraction. So my first job will be to convert this fraction to a whole number. What is the LCM of 10, 15, 30 and 6? This time don't take a big number. Try and get the right LCM. Tejaswani, what is the LCM? LCM is 30. So multiply everything by 30. If I multiply 1 upon 10 with 30, it will become 3. 1 upon 15 multiplied by 30 will become 2. 1 upon 30 multiplied by 30 will become 1. And 1 upon 6 multiplied by 30 will become 5. Okay, so we got this much part. So I can say division A got 3x, division B got 2x, division C got 1x, and division D got 5x. Read the question carefully. What have they asked for? Or what have they told further? Total of 1200 toys were distributed between B and C. That means B plus C. Look at this, then don't ask me again, where did you get 1200 from? B plus C is 1200. So 2x plus 1x. 2x plus 1x, 3x is 1200. And x will become 400. What have they asked for? Total number of toys. 3 plus 2, 5. 5 plus 1, 6. 6 plus 5, 11. Total is 11x. Don't find all of them individually. Waste of time. Total is 11x. 11 into 400. 4400. Everybody clear? So important in this question again was how to convert the fraction to whole numbers to make my calculation easy. Okay, slightly difficult question. Go through it carefully and try it. Then I'll explain it. How to access? It is there on the app, no? I am just putting it under my feed, Tejaswani. So every day I'm posting one concept, next day 3 questions. I'll post one concept, next day 3 questions. So today I posted a concept, tomorrow I'll post 3 questions. Geometry is very, very important, Tejaswani. If you keep doing geometry the way I'm saying, you will do well at geometry. And this is for even the second batch. You all can also start looking at that. Huh? I'm posting every day one small concept of geometry and then 3 questions next day. This is basics of geometry. You all should start looking at this. Yes, Sakshi, please go ahead. What is the query? Yeah, anybody question for this one? Yeah, Karthik, why not? You should start solving. Let's read. Three card players, Rohan, Rohit and Rahul. R-O, okay, Rohan भी है. तो Rohan, Rohit and Rahul start playing cards among themselves. At the beginning of the game, the amount of the money each had was 7 is to 6 is to 5. So let's take, suppose starting में Rohan has 7x, 6x and 5x. At the end of the game, the ratio of the money was between them was 6-5-4. Now remember, very importantly, you can't take, again, you can't say, okay, 6-5-4, you can't take 6x, 5x, 4x. Because if you have taken x over here, you again can't take x. Very important. This is a very important thing. 6y, 5y and 4y. But what is the important thing we need to know? They are playing amongst themselves, which means whoever wins, somebody will lose. Total money will remain same. ये 2400 का तो मेरे हिसाब से कोई need भी नहीं है. Just leave it. So how much is this? In terms of x, how much is this? 13 plus 5, 18x. In terms of x, the total money was 18x. In terms of y, it is 15y. How would I do this question? Everybody pay attention. What is the LCM of 18 and 15? What is the LCM of 18 and 15? I think 90. I would say let the total money between all of them be rupees 90. Okay. Let the total money between all of them be rupees 90. So 18x is also 90 and 15y is also 90. Therefore, x is 5. Everybody will stop chatting. Everybody will pay attention when I'm explaining a difficult sum. 18x is 90, so x is 5. 15y is 90, so therefore y is 6. Now let's check for every person, are they winning or losing? So what happens for the first person? Rohan के लिए क्या हो रहा है? He started with 7x, which means he started with 35 rupees. And at the end, he had 6 6 are 36. So he went from 35 to 36. He started with 35 and now has 36. So can I say he has 1 plus 1 rupee? So he's a winner. Rohan is definitely a winner. I don't know whether he's the best winner or not. वो बाद में देखेंगे. What about Rohit? Rohit started with 6x. So 6 5 are 30 rupees. 5y, 5 6 are 30. So Rohit के लिए end में 0 हो रहा है. No win, no loss. What about the third person? Rahul. Rahul के लिए क्या होगा? 5x. 5x will be 5 5. He started with 25 rupees and ended with 4 6 are 24. So Rahul is at a loss of 1 rupee. So Rohan is the only winner. Highest, lowest तो बात की बात है. Rohan is the only winner because Rohit has at the end earned nothing nor lost anything, and Rahul has 1 rupee. Has lost 1 rupee. So whatever Rohan won, Rahul has lost. The answer is Rohan. Now I can make more things in this question. पहले इतना समझ लो. Have you all understood this much? Have you all understood this much? First, then I'll make more things. So, first of all, do you all understand the money was equal? Because अगर तीन जन खेल रहे हैं एक दूसरे के बीच में तो total money will remain same. Total money will remain same, right? Now, total money remaining same, I just took a money so that my x and y do. Why do I always take LCM? So that I don't get fractions. I can take the total money anything. I can take 100, 200, 1000. But if I take such numbers, I will get fractions. And hence, I always prefer taking the total money as a LCM over here. And hence, because of that, I got whole numbers. Yeah. Explaining the whole question one more time. Rohan started with 7x. Rohit started with 6x. And whatever, who is the third person? Rahul. Rahul started with 5x. So total they had 13, 13 plus 5, 18x. So total money was 18x. At the end, what does Rohan have? At the end, what does Rohan have? You can't take the same variable. You have to use another variable. So 6y, 5y and 4y. That means they have total 15y. Now remember, these two numbers have to be same. Because if you start with whatever money at the end, also total money will remain same. कोई कितना भी हारेगा जीतेगा, but total तो same ही रहेगा ना. So one more way, if you just want one more, I did this method. I took 18x is equal to 15y equal to 90 LCM. So I could take x is equal to 5 and y is equal to 6. This 90 was the LCM which I took. If you don't take, you will get some fractions. Now, then I calculate for everybody what did they start with end with. So Rohan started with 7 5s are 35 and ended with 6 6 are 36. So he's plus 1. Rohit started with 6 5s are 30, 5 6 are 30. So 0 rupees. While Rahul started with 25, ended with 24. So loss of 1. So Rohan is the only winner. Important, it is compulsory, Amithi Dua. If you don't change the variable, then you will suddenly get 18x is equal to 15x. Maths ही बंद हो जाएगा. If 18x becomes equal to 15x, there is no maths left. Right? Amithi? Soumya, Amithi, everybody. Whenever different things are given, variable has to change. Ratio यहाँ पे भी दिया है, ratio यहाँ पे भी दिया है. The variable will have to change. You'll have to make two variables. Soumya, Amithi, I'm waiting for your answer. Have you understood that much? Kushi, I hope I have answered your question. Chalo, going ahead. Achha, I was going to make one more question. Now, suppose if this 2400 was also part of the question. What is the total money all three had? If this 2400 was a part of the question, I have changed the question. What is the total money all three started with? Yes, Yashika, what happened? Which part did you not understand? You'll have to tell me exactly what part may you have an issue. Because I've already explained the second time. Means if I explain it one more time the same way, you will still be stuck. So if you can tell me exactly what have you not understood. I started by taking this ratio score. I just took it as x, x, x. For the end values, I took y, y, y. And then because total money is same, I equated these two. Yashika, please pay attention. And then I took equal to LCM, which is 90, and solved it. Okay, let's see. So based on this, according to us, Rohan, from what our calculation was, Rohan has won 1 rupee. According to our calculation, Rohan has won 1 rupee. So when basically X is 5, Rohan is winning only 1 rupee. But real mein Rohan is winning how much? Real mein Rohan is winning how much? 2,400. Real mein Rohan is winning 2,400 because one of the players won 2,400. Which then what was the total amount they started with? Total amount is 18x. Now, if this answer has to come 2,400, pay attention very carefully. What will happen? Will everything will have to become 2,400 times? Everything will have to become 2,400 times. And hence we will get the answer as, according to me, X will also have to become 2,400 times. So think a little bit and get me the answer. Somebody saying 90 into 2,400. Okay, because we started with 90, we got answer as 1. So if I want the answer as 2,400, I have to just multiply this by 2,400. Good. So final answer will be 90 into 2,400, which is 216,000. When we started with 90 as an assumed value, we got Rohan's winning as 1 rupee. But if Rohan wins 2,400 rupees, answer will have to be 90 times. Oh, sorry, 2,400 times. Cool, can I go ahead? Chalo. Okay, next is like a concept, but before we do the concept, I'll give an example. So don't look at the concept right now, first look at the example. So suppose if I have a fraction, half. We all know half is 50%. If I look at percentage wise, half is 50%. Suppose if I keep adding the same number in the numerator and denominator, like let's try and keep adding 1. What will happen? If I add 1 to the numerator and denominator, what will happen? It will become 2 upon 3. Now, which is bigger? Is half bigger or 2 upon 3 bigger? Half is 50% and this is 66.66%. So this is bigger. Will it work every time? Suppose if I add one more time 1, what will happen? It will become 3 upon 4, which means it will become 75%. If I add one more time, it will become 4 upon 5, which means it will become 80%. And so on, so on, so on. I can keep going. If I add 5 upon 6, it will become some 83.33%. So what happens as you keep going ahead? What will happen as you keep going ahead? You will notice that the answer will keep increasing. So hence we get this property. And now just look at the property and see whether you understand what I just said. Now you will understand the property. It is so much easy to understand the property if you see an example first and then the property. लोग normally हमेशा उल्टा करते हैं, पहले property लिखते हैं फिर example बताते हैं. I always prefer write the example and then understand the property. Everybody clear? Exactly. So what will happen as I keep going ahead? 6 by 7, 7 by 8, 8. As I keep going ahead, I will reach near 100%. I will never reach 100, but I'll reach a number which is very, very close to 100. So for example, if you keep going ahead, at some stage you'll get 99 by 100, which is 99%. Some stage you will get 999 by 1000, which is 99.9%. Some stage you will get 9999 by 10,000, which is 99.99%, which everybody wants in CAT, right? 99.99 percentile. So what is happening over here? As I keep adding a constant to the numerator and denominator, my answer will always be higher than the previous answer. Let's take one more example. A upon B has to be less than 1. So 3 by 5. Suppose if I have 3 by 5 and if I add say 7 to both numerator and denominator, just random number decide किया, ये 3 by 5 था. If I add 7 to both numerator and denominator, without checking I can say this will be bigger. Why? Because this is 3 by 5 and this is 10 by 12. 10 by 12 you can check is much bigger than 3 by 5. 3 by 5 is close, not close to 3 by 5 is exactly 60%, while 10 by 12 will be I think 5 by 6, which is again 83.33%. So this is 60% and this is 83.33. This is bigger. Prachi, clear now? I've repeated. Prachi, Priyanshu, I've repeated for you all. You can add any number. You can take one more example. 2 by 7. Add 3 and 3. Add 3 and 3. This will become, if I add 3, 5. If I add 3, 10. 2 by 7. If you all know your percentages ka fractions well, is roughly 28.56%. 5 by 10 is 50%. So this is bigger. Prachi, Priyanshu, are you clear? Upanshu, roadmap. I keep taking counseling sessions where I keep making these roadmaps. So there are a lot of them already on YouTube. You can check that. Okay, what about the exact opposite? Suppose if it was more than 1, 5 by 3 if it was. Just say add 7, 7. 5 by 3, if you calculate 5 by 3 as a percentage, I think it is roughly 166.66. If you add say 7, 7, so it will become 12 by 10, which will become 120 percentage. That means this will be bigger. So if you keep adding, if the fraction is already above 1, and if you keep adding, it will, answer will keep reducing. In short, both the ways, the answer will keep going closer to 100. If you're already above 100, then it will keep reducing and it will go towards 100. If you're already below 100, it will keep increasing and go towards 100. In both the cases, you are going towards 100. Okay? So, basically, if the fraction is a upon b, where a is less than b, if fraction is a upon b where a is less than b, then the answer will keep going up. If it is a upon b where a is greater than b, the answer will keep coming down if you add a number to it, which is a positive number. Obviously, if you subtract a number, exactly उल्टा होगा. अभी सिर्फ add के लिए समझ लो, subtract के लिए समझने की जरूरत नहीं है. Okay? चलो, simple question. Try this on your own. Very straightforward question. यहाँ पे numbers are very nice. Two numbers are 20 and 40% of a third number. So what I would do in this case, let the third number be 100. Let the third number be 100. This is more of a percentage question. First number is 20% more than this. So my first number becomes 20% more than this. So becomes 120. And second number is 40% more than this. So it becomes 140. Answer is 120 upon 140. 0, 0 cut. 12 upon 14 is 6 upon 7. Option B. Nothing much to explain in this. These were the easy questions. I'm just going ahead quickly. So one more interesting question. Go through it carefully. This is directly based on the concept which we just did behind. We just did the concept behind, उसी के ऊपर based है. Father is to son 10 years ago was 7 upon 3. Which of the following cannot be the age 10 years later? If I think of this as A and this of B, the concept is A is greater than B. How much is 7 upon 3? Approximately 2.33. If I don't do percentage, I do fraction also. This is 2.33 approximately. Because I'm adding 10 years ago, say 10 years later, I'm going to add. Both of them will get older, no? Father will also get older, son will also get older. If I add, my answer should go down or up. Go back to the concept. If A is greater than B, and if I add, my answer will go down. My answer should go down. It should not go up. If you look at the first option, 2 divided by 1 is 2 only. 5 divided by 2 is 2.5. And 3 divided by 2 is 1.5. Which of the following cannot be the answer? It has to go down. So this cannot be the answer. So option 2 cannot be the answer. Because the option 2 is more than 2.33. 2.5 is more than 2.33. So answer is option 2. Everybody clear? So this cannot be the value. Come on, one more question. Okay, actually, before we do this question, I'm going to just change this question. I'll give you 2 questions. I'm going to make one extra question. Come on, first try this question. The ratio of income of A and B is 3:4. Vaishnavi, if you've just joined now, try and catch up with whatever you can. Otherwise, you can watch the lecture later. Come on, read the question, try it. I'll give you 2 approaches. In fact, I want to show you 2 approaches for this question. Because I just made the question randomly right now, you might get decimal answers. You can leave the answer in fraction. Leave answer in fraction if you're getting fraction. Now, remember earlier you'll ask me one thing, sir, why did we use two variables? Here also we'll have to use two variables. Two methods I'm going to show you. Income of A and B. A, B, income, expense, saving. ये मेरा standard method है ये sum करने का. Income of A and B is 3:4. So I'll take 3x and 4x. Expense is 2:3. So I'll have to take 2y and 3y. Both of them save 1000 rupees. So 3x minus 2y is also 1000. And 4x minus 3y is also 1000. Somebody is asking actual calculation of the previous question. Calculation तो हो गया और कुछ करना ही नहीं था previous question में. Prachi, there is no actual calculation. That was this question. So now you'll have to solve these two equations simultaneously. How do you solve simultaneous equation? Suppose you want to cut the x off. So you'll have to make this x same. Multiply this equation by 4. Multiply this equation by 3. If you multiply first equation by 4, you'll get 12x minus 8y is 4000. 12x minus 9y is 3000. Subtract both the equations. So this equation, the signs will change. Minus, plus, minus. 12x minus 12x cut. Minus 8 plus 9 is y. Y is 1000. Put y as 1000 in any one of the equation. I think when you solve it and put y as 1000. So suppose I put it here. 3x minus 2y. So 2y will be 2000 is 1000. 3x is 3000. So x is also 1000. What have they asked for? They've asked for the expense. Both of them say 1000. Oh, sorry. They've asked for the income of A. Income of A was 3x, which will be 3000. Everybody clear? Now let's try and see the same question by a slightly different method. Everybody pay attention to a different method for this sum. And I use this method a lot. Income, expense, saving. This was given 1000. Everybody pay attention. Income is 3:4. So I can take income as 3x and 4x. Now suppose if my income is 3000 and I'm saving 1000. So how much did I spend? Everybody in the chat only answer that much. My income is 3x. I saved 1000. So how much was my expense? I'll repeat. Income is 3x. Saving is 1000. How much was my expense? I want only this much in the chat. Only one person has given the answer. So in my expense will be 3x minus 1000. And what about for B? B, it will be 4x minus 1000. Now you can avoid a second variable in this method. The ratio of this to this was given as 2:3. So I can do 3x minus 1000 upon 4x minus 1000 is 2/3. And I can cross multiply this and directly get x. So if I cross multiply, what will I get? 9x minus 3000 is 8x minus 2000. 9x minus 8x is minus 2000 plus 3000. X is 1000. And you got x, you still wanted to find income of A. So A ka income will be 3 into 1000. Final answer 3000. This is also a nice method. In fact, I use this a lot more. जहां पे भी possible है. अगर possible नहीं है तो I will have to do by normal method. It depends on what the question was given. Chalo, something new I'm asking y'all, not connected to this question. I'm just asking y'all in general. Suppose there are two friends A and B. They both had the same amount of money. They both had say X rupees. Okay. There's a random number Y. From A, I have taken 2/3 of Y. And from B, I have taken 1/4 of Y. From A, I took 2/3 of Y. I don't know what Y is. Only thing I know, Y is a number greater than 0. Y is a number greater than 0. So from A, I took 2/3 of Y. And from B, I took 1/4 of Y. Who has more money now? After this step, who has more money? अच्छा, किसके पास ज्यादा पैसा है पूछा वैष्णवी. X is not a person. B will have more money. Why? Because whatever the number Y is, suppose just for example, just to understand, if Y is 12 rupees, if Y was 12, A will have X minus 3, 12 by 2. What is 2/3 of 12? 4 to the 8. So A will have X minus 8 and B will have X minus 3. So obviously you can see B has more money than A. X is a number, 100 hai, 5 hai, whatever X is 20, whatever it is. So B will have more money. Is this clear? Because in short, 2/3 Y is more than 1/4 Y. So from A, I took more money than B, and that is why at the end, B had more money than A. Great. So let's go ahead. Try this question on your own. Come on. Try this question on your own. Kaushal, very difficult to address this thing now, but in the next coming week, I'll have a counseling session. That time you can ask me. Tejaswani, please read the question carefully. Starting in the same method, A का income is 3x, B का income is 4x. A का expense is 2y and 3y. Now read the question carefully. So saving कितना है? 3x minus 2y and 4x minus 3y is the saving. Now read carefully. Who's saving as a proportion of his income? So this saving upon income for A and saving upon income for B, which is greater is they asking. So let's write it properly. Saving 3x minus 2y upon 3x and B के लिए 4x minus 3y upon 4x. Now pay attention carefully. A lot of people reach to this step and then they say, oh, cannot be determined. No. Pay attention carefully. How can you write this? You can write this as 3x upon 3x minus 2y upon 3x. And here I can write 4x upon 4x minus 3y upon 4x. This becomes 1. So A is 1 minus 2 by 3 y by x. Y by x is also a number. Let's call it as k, suppose. and this one has 1 minus 3 by 4k. Just like previously what we did. मैंने वो पीछे ऐसे ही टाइम पास के लिए नहीं दिया था, इसी सम के लिए दिया था. Here I have taken more money, here I have taken out more, and here I have taken out less. Right? Whatever y by x is, here I have taken out more and here I have taken out less. So if I take out more, this will become lesser. So answer will be this. Are we clear, everybody? And hence answer will be A, not B. A will have more money as a proportion. Basically, who's saving as a proportion of the income is higher? So A. Next concept. When I say A varies directly as B, what does this mean? When I say A varies directly as B, इसका मतलब क्या होता है? Word directly is important over here. So if this means that if B increases, then A will also increase. And if B decreases, then A will also decrease. This is the meaning of proportional, variation, whatever you want to call it. Simple example. बहुत एकदम basic बच्चे लोग का example. 5 kgs sugar cost suppose rupees 100. What will be the cost of 12 kgs sugar? Kiddie question. Just understanding. Don't give me answer. I don't want the answer. 5 kg ka cost is 100. So if I buy more sugar, I'll have to pay more, na? Nobody's going to give me free sugar. 5 kg sugar cost rupees 100. 12 kgs will cost how much? It will cost me more. Definitely it will cost me more than 12, 100. So this is called direct variation. So basically 5 upon 12 is 100 upon x. This is direct variation. Right? Okay. Now what else? Similarly, what is inverse variation? When I say A varies inversely as B, so exactly ulta. If B increases, then A. If B increases, then A decreases. And if B decreases, then A increases. Can you give me an example of this? Can you give me an example? Real life example. A man is traveling from Mumbai to Pune, which is some distance, I don't know. Mumbai to Pune is some distance. At a speed of 60 kilometers per hour, taking 5 hours. How much time will he take? If he travels at 50 kilometers per hour? So this is not a time speed distance question. This is a ratio question. Only thing you have to understand is common sense. Initially speed was 60, you were taking 5 hours. So if you decrease your speed, if you make your speed 50, will you take more time or less time? तुमको मुंबई से पुणे ही जाना है At 60, you took 5 hours. At 50, how much time will you take? You will take more time. So, which means it is inverse variation. How will you handle inverse variation? 60 upon 50. Both the speeds on one side. यहाँ पे उल्टा हो जाएगा. So basically over here, speed 1 upon speed 2 will be T2 upon T1 and not T1 upon T2. 60 upon 50 will be T2, which we don't know, upon T1, which was 5 hours. So you can solve. How much will be the answer? Answer will be 6 hours. After this, you can cross multiply. So, in short, pay attention everybody carefully. In short, whenever there is, if A varies directly as B, then we say A1 upon A2 is B1 upon B2. And if we say A varies inversely as B, then we say A1 upon A2 is equal to B2 upon B1. Everybody clear? Other example of inverse variation is 10 men working 8 hours a day can finish a job in 20 days. Then 16 men working 10 hours a day will take how many days to do the job? 10 men working 8 hours a day take 20 days to do the job. 16 men working for 10 hours a day take how many days to do the job? Come on, do this question on your own. Now think logically. Before you start solving the question, think logically. If there are more men, they will take lesser days. So can I say men and days are inversely proportional? Men and days are inversely proportional. If they work for more hours a day, if they work for more hours a day, then hours and day also are inversely proportional. So can I say days are inversely proportional to men as well as hours? Days are inversely proportional to men as well as hours. And hence you will write D1 upon D2 is M2 upon M1 multiplied by H2 upon H1. And then you can solve it in the same way. You will get the answer is 10 days. I'll show the solving also. D1, I know is 20 days. D2, I want to find. M2, H2 are 16 and 10. M1, H1 are 10 and 8. 10, 10 cut. 8 ones are 8 twos are. 2D2 is equal to 20. D2 is equal to 10. Everybody clear? Okay, that's it. That was the last question for the day. I hope everybody enjoyed the class. Okay. Cool. Thank you, everybody. Good night. Most welcome, Ritu. Thank you, Anurag. Bye, good night, everybody. Catch you next time and keep studying hard.